Tennessee Juliette Barnes. Tennessee Juliette Barnes. Oklahoma Mike Doonesbury. Oklahoma Mike Doonesbury. Washington Bella Swan. Washington Bella Swan. West Virginia Bat Boy. West Virginia Bat Boy. Mississippi Skip. Mississippi Skip. Nevada Deputy Trudy Wiegel. Nevada Deputy Trudy Wiegel. Connecticut Piper Chapman. Connecticut Piper Chapman. Montana Paul Maclean. While a river runs through it is a film inspired by true events. Paul Maclean, the younger brother who is a savant fly fisherman, is a work of fiction. Paul was a charming character but had his flaws with gambling. Nonetheless, he embodied the free spirit of a Montana outdoorsman and writer. Oregon Jessica Jess Day. New Girl star Jessica Day grew up in Portland, but when she was in her 20s, she followed her best friend Cease to Los Angeles. Although New Girl is based in L. Jess visits Portland every so often to see her dad. After the television show Friends stopped airing, there was about a 7-year gap where America couldn't relate to a quirky, close-knit group of people in their 20s or early 30s. The adorable Jess Day came to the rescue. The character guaranteed her real-life counterpart, Zooey Deschanel, would get nominated for everything from Golden Globes to a Primetime Emmy Award. New Girl and, of course, Jess Day represent the willingness to get up and go and restart life when it seems hopeless, and preaches everything always works out when we have a little faith in ourselves. South Carolina Noah Calhoun. Noah Calhoun is an example of the unaccepted gentleman who doesn't fit in with the class structure of the South during the 40s. His relentlessness in pursuing Allie is deemed charming by Allie, but less so by her disapproving family. Noah and Allie's love story in The Notebook may be fueled by the stereotypical but endearing Southern gentleman trope, but it works. In the end, true love prevails. New York George Costanza. George Costanza is one of the 4 main characters in Seinfeld. Set in New York City, George plays Jerry's friend and has a lengthy list of psychological problems and epitomizes a neuroticism unique to the city that never sleeps. Seinfeld redefined comedy in the 90s. While Jerry Seinfeld was the brain behind the understated, sarcastic, and tongue-in-cheek comedy, it was George Costanza who stole the show. Every guy can relate to George's fly-by-the-seat-of-his-pants decisions that ultimately came back to bite him. George embodied the absurdity of life most people experience, only he embraced it with a foul temper that made it hilarious. Remember Georgie's philosophy on life, Jerry, just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it. More George Costanza. The most low-key sociopathic things George Costanza did on Seinfeld. 16 of 1288. The greatest TV characters of all time. 40 of 52. Which sitcom character would you want to quarantine with? Kentucky Raylan Givens. Raylan Givens of Justified put southern and eastern Kentucky on the national map when it comes to fictional characters. Most Kentuckians agree the show does a great job capturing the culture and atmosphere of various locations in Kentucky, from Lexington to Harlan, even the not-so-wonderful parts, like the serious pain pill problems. In Kentucky, you're either supporting law enforcement or you're vehemently against it, and United States Deputy Marshal Raylan Givens is more aware of that than anyone. In 2011, Justified was nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award. Arkansas Karl Childers. Karl Childers may have been a quiet, intellectually disabled man in Sling Blade, but it is his road to redemption that makes him a star. Filmed in Benton, the film and Childers by proxy are a source of pride for Arkansas residents. Folks still give tours of the remaining landmarks from the movie. Billy Bob Thornton described his character in Sling Blade as a cross between Frankenstein and Boo Radley. He is instantly recognizable for his throaty line of, "Well, like the way you talk." Karl Childers comes to grips with his demons, and he eventually sacrifices his freedom for that of his friends Linda and Frank, mother and son. Childers' character exposes some of the difficulties of life in places like rural Arkansas. Iowa Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy grew up in a small town in Iowa, though the actual town remains a mystery. She is a true diva who is best known for her tumultuous relationship with Kermit the Frog. Everyone loves Miss Piggy, and fans forgive her shortcomings as a necessary caveat of her diva personality. She undoubtedly made her small Iowa town proud, wherever that might be. More Miss Piggy. 78 of 935 the greatest female TV characters of all time. 221 of 322 the greatest cartoon characters in TV history. 215 of 3,512 the best movie characters of all time. Texas Beavis. Beavis attends Highland High School in Highland, TX, a fictional town about 40 miles north of the desert. Beavis loves Metallica, hanging out with Butthead, and messing with Stuart Stevenson. While it's a bit of a toss-up about who rocks more, Beavis or Butthead, it's Beavis's character, the Great Cornholio, which puts the debate to rest. Never before had two burned-out, unmotivated, horny, awkward teens endeared themselves to America like Beavis and Butthead. And except for a South Carolina senator who in 1993 mistakenly referred to Beavis and Butthead as Buffcoat and Beaver, everyone knows who you're imitating when you randomly shout out at school or in a work meeting, "I need TP for my bumhole." Alaska Chilly Willy. Chilly Willy is the talking penguin who has trouble getting warm surprise, and he hails from Alaska. Even though penguins aren't native to Alaska, he has made numerous appearances in short animated films alongside Woody Woodpecker. Maine Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan is American as, well, Paul Bunyan. While many states want to lay claim to this American folklore legend, it's Maine who boasts the 31-foot roadside attraction of Paul Bunyan in Bangor, Maine. Paul Bunyan is an early American folklore hero. He represents the size, strength, and vitality of early American industry and capitalism. Paul Bunyan was a reminder to all that America, while rough around the edges, would be successful by overcoming any obstacles presented. New Hampshire Longfellow Deeds. Longfellow Deeds is a hapless hero with a knack for making pizza, designing greeting cards. He's also the epitome of a person who enjoys the simple life and looking out for the people in his small town. Deeds is significant because he represents some New Hampshire values, adds some absurdity, hope, friendship, and comedy to the mix. Residents of New Milford, NH, were more than happy to show up for the cameras as extras during the film's shoot in June 2001. Michigan, Al Borland. Everyone remembers Al Borland calling Tim Taylor out with his token line, "I don't think so, Tim." And this character from Michigan has a place in everyone's heart, representing the hand skills and tough work ethic of the Great Lakes state well. While Toolman Tim Taylor seems like he might be the most obvious choice for the most famous fictional character from Michigan, it's Al who actually embodies the character of Michigan. Understated, sometimes underappreciated, but always reliable, Al is Michigan personified. Virginia Cleveland Brown. Virginia Cleveland Brown. Louisiana Gambit. Louisiana Gambit. Massachusetts Will Hunting. Massachusetts Will Hunting. Wisconsin Donna Pinciotti. Wisconsin Donna Pinciotti. Hawaii Gilligan. Hawaii Gilligan. Delaware Tyler Durden. North Dakota J. Gatsby. North Dakota J. Gatsby. Indiana Garfield. Indiana Garfield. Georgia Scarlett O'Hara. Georgia Scarlett O'Hara. Vermont Jack Torrance. Vermont Jack Torrance. Kansas Toto. Kansas Toto. Missouri Huckleberry Finn. Missouri Huckleberry Finn. Nebraska Penny Hofstadter. Penny Hofstadter was born in Omaha, NE, but she moves to California to pursue her acting career. In season 1 of The Big Bang Theory, Penny moved into apartment B across from Leonard and Sheldon. Fans of The Big Bang Theory note Penny is often the catalyst for a lot of personal growth among the nerdy group of friends, and her underappreciated dynamic makes her the star player. And while her people in Nebraska might not appreciate her topless role in the film serial Apist, they no doubt appreciate her Midwest work ethic and mannerisms. More Penny 67 of 935, the greatest female TV characters, the all-time 12 of 36, the 36 best wedding dresses in the history of television. Arizona John Rambo. Arizona John Rambo. Florida Ace Ventura. He's not Dr. Doolittle, but he can talk to dolphins. A Florida-based detective can solve any animal mystery, and he'll do it while entertaining us all. He'll even take on the Miami Dolphins to do so. His bat-crazy antics are on par with all of the crazy crimes that happen in the Sunshine State. Jim Carrey won the Kids' Choice Award for Favorite Movie Actor, and for the better part of the 90s, whenever a kid or teenager said, "Alrighty then," no explanation was needed. California Marty McFly. High school student Marty McFly attended Hill Valley High School in Hill Valley, CA in the mid-80s. He meets up with Doc Brown after hearing about Brown's experiments and lunacy. The two hit it off, and as a result, the most epic trilogy of the 80s was born. The film redefined the science fiction genre, and with the help of Mary McFly, an everyday teenager, turned science fiction into something mainstream and trendy. Marty's success in Back to the Future led to not only 2 additional films, but also a ride at Universal Studio, which unfortunately closed in 2007. North Carolina Ricky Bobby. Talladega Nights may take place in a variety of NASCAR stadiums, but the film's protagonist Ricky Bobby calls North Carolina home. Ricky Bobby embodies the passion for NASCAR that fills states like North Carolina and the southern United States. Charlotte, NC is an area that is popular with NASCAR drivers and announcers alike. In November 2017, Ricky Bobby's 2 million mansion went up for sale, so now hardcore fans can drink all the Gatorade and eat all the Domino's pizza they want, just like one of North Carolina's finest. Pennsylvania Dwight Schrute. Dwight resides on Schrute Farms in Homestead, a town neighboring Scranton. Dwight is an effective salesman for Dunder Mifflin Paper, despite his non-existent interpersonal skills. Dwight is by far one of the best characters on The Office, and he was the only character who almost got his own spin-off series, The Farm. Not only is Dwight an excellent salesperson, but he lives his life simply and directly. He takes a pragmatic approach to life, such as thinking plotting before he acts. For instance, Dwight stated that he would never do something an idiot would do. Despite Dwight's many apparent character flaws, he is a loyal and genuine friend. Or Dwight Schrute, the greatest pranks Jim ever played on Dwight on The Office, 2 of 403, the funniest TV characters of all time. Illinois Al Bundy. In the suburbs of Chicago lives a man so unmotivated he still speaks to males across America years after his show went off air. Al Bundy of Married with Children is an unambitious shoe salesman. He's best known for kicking back on the couch and drinking a beer with his hand in the safest spot, down his pants. Married with Children is significant to American television in that it ran contrary to earlier shows like Leave It to Beaver, where home life was portrayed as perfect. Al Bundy and his family made it okay to show a dysfunctional American family on primetime television. Fans watched the Bundys struggle financially, emotionally, and even with annoying neighbors. Somehow, though, the undermotivated Al Bundy held his family together. More Al Bundy. 37 of 1288, the greatest TV characters of all time. 43 of 52, which sitcom character would you want to quarantine with? 586 of 737, the most annoying TV and film characters ever. New Jersey Tony Soprano. Tony Soprano, from Newark, NJ, was associated with the daimyo crime family. He played an important role in the North Jersey area to keep this criminal organization running smoothly. The Sopranos changed television for American networks. While interest in the Irish and Italian mobs have dominated the northeast coast of the United States for decades, Tony Soprano's character brought mob life into homes across America, and he made his ill dealings likable. Through Tony Soprano, networks learned what audiences would tolerate and learned how to endear a rancid character to television fans. As for all of his problematic behaviors, forget about it. More Tony Soprano. 53 of 102 the greatest bad boys in TV history, 36 of 177 the most likable TV anti-heroes, 65 of 142 the best TV characters of the 1990s.
Idaho Napoleon Dynamite.
Known for his skills, sick dance moves, and letting Deb realize it's okay to drink whole milk, Napoleon dominates Idaho. No one can hold back this liger artist, not even his pet llama, Tina. He's more of a legend than his uncle Rico, the former high school football star. Napoleon, the original hipster, made it cool to be yourself, no matter how awkward. He embodied the awkwardness of growing up in the Mountain States in the early aughts. Napoleon managed to gain a cult following and endear himself to an audience despite his quirks and eccentricities.
Minnesota Charlie Brown.
The main character of the Peanuts comic, Charlie Brown. It makes sense when you think about how much snow with which the Peanuts characters have to deal. Charlie Brown is the lovable nerd to whom every child could relate. He's important because he's one of the first characters in comics to explore life through the eyes of an awkward child. And while he could get gloomy sometimes, he once said, "I've developed a new philosophy. I only dread one day at a time." The Peanuts comic is ultimately a message about accepting friends for who they are and taking life one day at a time. And we get to hear this message from a little boy who wears the same yellow shirt every day.
Colorado Eric Cartman.
Eric Theodore Cartman of South Park, Co., is a South Park fan favorite, though the uninitiated may not understand why. After all, Cartman is vulgar, racist, and has a lengthy criminal record. Still, he has some pretty unforgettable catchphrases which have seeped into the American lexicon at large, like "respect my authority" and "screw you guys, I'm going home." Cartman managed to work his way into the hearts of 90s kids everywhere, and he followed them into adulthood. Those same former 90s kids could share Cartman's affections for cheesy poofs with their children, and they could also teach their children everything they need to know about sweet revenge through Eric Cartman, like when Cartman fed Scott Tenorman chili, which turned out to be made from Scott's parents. Cartman is a born leader, and is so famous he even made a cameo on Futurama. Colorado should be proud of their angry, murderous, scheming, adorable sociopath son.
Ohio Scooby-Doo.
Have you ever wondered where Scooby-Doo and the gang solve all of their mysteries? It's in Coolsville, a fictional town in Ohio located in Erie County. Kids love Scooby-Doo. This trend hasn't slowed down, and it doesn't matter that the vast majority of the original Scooby-Doo episodes were created even before the parents of young kids today were born. The Scooby Gang hangs out in Coolsville, and while the viewers know roughly how every Scooby-Doo episode will end, the process of getting there remains a mystery. And it's this formula that appeals to young children, older kids, and even adults who try to beat those meddling kids to the denouement. Scooby has gone through many iterations, and the Hungry Pups movies picked up a Teen Choice Award and a Kids' Choice Award in 2002 and 2003. More Scooby-Doo 25 of 99, the funniest characters currently on TV, 3 of 322 the greatest cartoon characters in TV history, 60 of 87 the best characters from the Batman universe.
Utah Wild E. Coyote.
He might never catch the Roadrunner. That doesn't mean that he won't kill himself trying. Fortunately, This coyote appears to have more lives than a cat. And there is rarely a child or adult who doesn't recognize this hapless predator. The Looney Tunes characters, including Wiley, Coyote, have been an American animation mainstay since 1930.
Wyoming Yogi Bear.
Wyoming Yogi Bear.
Rhode Island Peter Griffin.
Rhode Island Peter Griffin.
New Mexico Walter White.
New Mexico Walter White.
Alabama Forrest Gump.
Alabama Forrest Gump.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care. Bye.